All right, so we're going to talk about 8.4. There's been a little confusion, so I just want to clear this up. These are very black and white rules, and they are what happens when there's a zero exponent. When there is a zero exponent, x to the zero, where x is literally any number. So plug in 1, 2, 3, 4, a million. X to the 0 is 1. Real quick, the reason for that is because, let's just take 5 to the 0. Anything times itself is 1, so because of the identity property of multiplication, or something like that, I think that's what it is. So if you have something to the 0 times 1, and this cancels out, you're kind of left with that 1. So that's the theory behind it. Not really sure why anyone would raise anything to the 0 power, but I suppose another reason would be if you had 5 to the 0 over 5 to the 0, those would cancel out and become 1. So there's another reason I've never really thought about. Or if you had 5 to the 3 over 5 to the 3, 3 minus 3 would be 0. So, or would be 1, would be 0, which would give you 1. So, a couple of reasons why that is. All right, so I'm going to erase this. Basically, just remember anything to the 0 power is 1. Okay, so what about these negative exponents? Okay, so I feel like everyone wants to. The biggest struggle is everybody wants to take x to the negative 2 and somehow make x negative, and that is not what you do, okay? Negative, let's write them up here, negative exponents do one thing. They move the exponent from top to bottom or bottom to top. It's that simple. They just move the exponent, and so they do these two things and then they make it positive. So once it moves, it becomes positive. Alright, so let's look at a couple of examples. Negative, okay, let's just do, I'm sorry. I'm doing the same thing you guys have been doing. Okay, so let's do x to the negative 2. Now, think of it as there's a line here. So it goes down to the bottom of so it goes from the numerator to the denominator, and what's left on the top is 1 x squared. Alright, let's do one where we have a 1 over 3 to the negative 2. Okay? So it's in the denominator, so it moves to the numerator and becomes positive, leaving me with 3 squared. It doesn't change, it doesn't affect the negative or positive value of the number that it is associated with. It simply moves it. So it goes from the top to the bottom or the bottom to the top. So if you want to take a screenshot, take one, because otherwise I'm gonna erase this and we're gonna try something here. Or actually, I'm just gonna erase this bottom part to give me a little room. So in a complex one, and this is more algebra 1 to be honest, but I just want you to see it. So in a complex one, let's just say we have 5a to the negative 3 over b to the negative 2a squared. Okay? So what I have here is I have a 5. Well, the 5, it's very important to note, the 5 is not raised to the negative 3 power because it doesn't have parentheses. Now, if this 5a was in parentheses, then the negative 3 would apply to the 5, but because it's not, that 5, in our simplification, I can just go ahead and draw this line, that 5 is going to stay where it is, nothing changes. Alright, so then my a, let's use color codes, let's say my a is going to go down, okay? So let's just do that. So a to the third, and then my b, let's change color again. My b to the -2 is negative, so it's going to move to the top, and let's just go ahead and do that. B to the second. So what you want to do is you want to handle your negatives first and then see what you have left. And so the a squared, let's make it green, this a squared, right, it just stays where it is. It's not negative. So we don't have to, let's keep it all the same color down over here. So this just stays where it is. So now pause the video and see if you can figure out if I am done. Okay, so hopefully you said to yourself, no, you're not done, because you have these two a to the third times a squared. Well, what do I do when I have two numbers with the same base? I add the exponents. So my final simplification, I'm going to run out of room, so sorry, I'm going to have to come down here. My final simplification is 5b squared. I can't do anything more with the top. And the bottom is a to the 3 plus 2, or a to the 5th. All right, so rewind that and watch that again if you didn't understand it. So basically, let me just review though. The 5 stayed where it is because I can't do anything with it. The a to the third, a to the -3rd, I'm sorry, went down because it was on top. The b to the -2 went up because it was on top. And when I was done moving my negative exponents to the other side, basically, and making them positive, this is a positive, this is a positive, I was left with another operation available because my a's are now both in the denominator, they're being multiplied together, therefore I add. Alright guys, it's that simple. The only thing the negative exponent affects is the movement. It moves from the numerator to the denominator, or top to the bottom, or it moves from the denominator to the numerator, the bottom to the top of the fraction or whatever you're talking about here. And it becomes positive. It's that simple. Rewind this, watch it again if you need to. I understand this is a little bit different, but just remember, handle your negatives first. They do not affect the value of the number, the base number that they are raising. It simply moves it. Anything to the 0 power is 1. 5 to the 0 power, -5 to the 0 power, pi to the 0 power, anything to the 0 power is 1. Alright, hopefully that was helpful and clears that up for you, but if not, come to my desk and we'll chat. Talk to you later.